Down south, hunting is more than a pastime. It's a tradition. Whether you're tucked into a pine thicket for whitetail or chasing hogs through the bottoms, Nosler Ammo offers the kind of reliable, knockdown power that earns respect season after season. Trust the name that's built a reputation on performance. Trust Nosler.
Welcome to the Southern U Podcast, brought to you by Darden Archery on the OKest Podcast Network, with your co-host Matt Brock, Jeremy Ferguson, and Taylor McMurtry. If you're looking for all things land-related in the Southeast, you came to the right place. Whether it's real estate, habitat, wildlife, or just being outdoors, this is the place for you. Welcome to the Southern U. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Southern U Podcast, where we talk all things land related. My name's Taylor McMurtry. I'm joined by the real estate aficionado / expert on all things land, Mr. Jeremy Ferguson.
I don't know that I'd say expert.
Don't know?
I appreciate the confidence.
I tried, man.
That's right.
I tried. Yeah. Just like, I can't give my wife a compliment either.
Yeah.
She always shoots me down.
Look, I promise you, in the spaces I feel like I'm an expert, people will tell you I'm not. So we'll just listen to those folks.
Yeah. And we have a very special guest in the room today. All our audience can take a collective sigh of relief. We are finally going to talk about some waterfowl.
Yep.
Woo!
The heck with brown hair and gobbles. We're going to talk about a little bit smaller bird.
All you guys reaching out on Instagram going, why don't you talk about ducks? Why don't you talk about waterfowl? Like, well, we're bringing it at you today.
Yeah,
so.
And there's a good reason the rest of us don't talk about them.
Yeah, because
most of us don't know which end quacks. So.
That's right. So, yes, Corey Adams is a special guest today. Corey, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
I appreciate y'all inviting me.
Yeah, and if you would, just kind of give our audience a little background on you and kind of your experience in the waterfowl game, if you don't mind.
All right, I grew up in North Alabama. I hunted all my life. I started out mainly deer hunting and turkey hunting. Then later on in my life, I got into duck hunting, and then I wanted to make a career out of it. So I went to Auburn University and
War Eagle.
Yeah, I got a degree in wildlife ecology and management. Took that on, and my background is mainly farming and working with cows and running equipment. And so I took that, and at Auburn, I worked on a farm down there when I was going through school, and I did some habitat management for the guy I worked for. We did all different kinds of stuff, and then I took my degree, wanted to do something with it, so I moved to South Carolina. I got a job with South Carolina Waterfowl Association, and up there we managed for ducks. I mean, we built duck impoundments. We managed the habitat, and so from there, I then got a job back in Alabama, managing a place in North Alabama. The main focus there is duck hunting, and it's a recreational property for the group of members that we have. But we do everything. We do deer, turkey, and quail hunts. But main thing we do is duck hunts. So that's basically my background there.
Okay. And so how did you end up coming back to the great state of Alabama?
Well, I kind of looked at my wife. She's a nurse, so she was able to get a job kind of anywhere. So that's kind of the job I had in South Carolina kind of led me to the people that own this property. And I was able to just fit right in, come down here and talk to them, and they hired me. And it's going on 11 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's cool, man. That's incredible. We really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
About time we have somebody spill some waterfowl knowledge on here.
Yeah, because I don't have it. And if those other two that are normally on here say they don't have it, then we're out of luck.
I guess now that what they call it, what they call when you, I guess can't be charged for something the length of time.
Oh,
My mind's not
statute of limitations.
Yeah. Since the statute of limitations is up on it, it's been many years. I've killed one duck in my life. And I shot it with a high-powered rifle.
Oh, jeez.
I was a kid and didn't know any better and was told, hey, shoot that duck. And so I shot that duck. But
that's funny.
Went duck hunting with a lot of guys, just never shot at another duck.
Yeah,
so
I've never been, and I have buddies, a lot of guys that do it, and they're like, man, you've never duck hunted. You got to go, man. You love it. And I go, I know that I would love it. I cannot afford another hobby. Like I can't, it's too much.
It's an expensive hobby, that's for sure.
But I will say though, I've said this too. Like I don't know. I think it just takes a different breed of person, because if you've got seasons that overlap, you've got deer season and you've got duck season. What are you going to do? You're going to go shoot ducks? You're going to go try to hunt deer? Like, it's hard for me to get away from deer. You know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I wouldn't even waste my time in the deer woods.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So that's to each their own, I guess.
Well, I see the side of it that, like my nephew's a big duck hunter, and he enjoys being able to go with his buddies, sit and talk, and it's not solitary like deer, and then most of the time most turkey hunters are. So,
I mean, you got good conversations in the duck blinds.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of jokes told, and a lot of people that like to claim ducks too.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, and you got 5 guys in there, and there's some ducks, and you got one that's got a band. There's about every one of those guys shot that duck.
Yeah. The extent of my duck hunting experience stopped before I ever got there, because I had a cousin that was really into it. Now he was going all the time, and he's several years older than me, and I was just a kid. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go with me this weekend?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." And didn't think much about it, but he was like, got to go get your stamps and all that. And he goes, "Okay, well look, I need to just be at the house about as soon as you get out of school, as soon as you can, maybe like 4 o'clock or something on Friday." And I'm like, "We're hunting Saturday." And this is like hunting on the lake. This is not like some private. And I'm just kind of like wheels are turning in my head. I'm like, hey, why do I need to be there? Why do I need to show up on Friday? And he's like, "Oh, because we got to get in the boat and we got to go down the river and get our spot and spend the night in the boat so that nobody else will get it before we get there." And I'm like, this is late deer season. This is January or something, and I'm like, what? Like, no, I'm out, dude. I'm not spending the night in a boat like to go try to shoot a duck, So that's about as far as I got. Y'all can make fun of me.
There takes some of those guys have some dedication to go do that.
That's the way my nephew is, man. They'll spend the night on the boats and all that. I don't. Colby's like, "Oh, you need to go with us, Uncle Jerry." I'm like, heck no. No, man. The last thing I'm going to do is spend the night on a boat to shoot a coot. On Gunner's one.
Right. No doubt. That's funny. Well, I mean, we're going to jump into some questions here in just a second. I do want to give a shout out for one of our sponsors, and this is actually going to be, I guess, my bi-weekly shout out too. I haven't done that, but shout out to Randy Kitts, Dart and Archery, everybody over there, Dart and Black Eagle, Conquest. They are doing some really, really cool stuff in the archery industry. I got to talk on the phone with Randy last week for a few minutes, and of course they help us out. They sponsor this podcast. You guys know that, but that's just a good human being. Like, he's just a good dude, and does things the right way. He's very much old school in the sense that his word is his bond, and if he ever goes against his word, then
that's right.
I think it's. I don't know if I should say this publicly or not. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter, but if you look around at even their pro shooters, the guys that shoot on the tournament trail, there are no contracts. at Darden.
Yeah.
There's no signed formal agreement. They just say, hey, man, you know, if we ever have an issue, you come talk to me.
Yeah.
Until then, you're one of us, you know, whatever. And they've treated us that way too. So
they have.
Shout out to Randy. He's going to Africa in about a week, I guess. So he'll be in Africa slinging arrows and filming new content for what Darton's rolling out for 2026. And,
so good luck. I actually talked to a large bow dealer. Well, you know, Hoover Tack.
Yeah.
Down at Hoover. But they were at the deer show in Birmingham, and my buddy Ben runs the archery department there, and they started carrying Darton now, and had some requests on it. But I didn't realize there were some big moves that have happened in the archery world, and not necessarily good ones. It doesn't sound like for a couple of the well-known big manufacturers.
Yeah.
PSE and Bowtech both sound like things aren't what they were.
Yeah, and I mean,
I hate to speak on that too much, but
yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't want to get off in the weeds on that too much because we're trying to talk about waterfowl stuff. Yeah, but I think these companies in general are starting to see, instead of them throwing so much money at professional archers, which by the way is really, it's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? If I could be a professional archer, I would be. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, but I think they're starting to see the value in, you know, instead of giving money to professional archers, there's a whole lot more people that bow hunt.
Yeah.
I think we need to put our eggs in that basket rather than the pros, you know, and again, if I was a pro, I might not have the same opinion, but I just think it's cool that it's like, hey, let's kind of take a little bit of a shift in our approach, you know, and stuff. So
it's been an interesting change.
Yeah.
Recently. So interested to see where it goes.
Anyways, but that was my shout out. I know, Jeremy, if you got anybody you want to shout out for.
Yeah. Hey, I got one with my good buddy and business partner, R.L. Foster.
Yeah.
We got to see him at the deer show. Don't know who knows and who doesn't, but R.L.'s been fighting cancer and doing really well now, and got out and got to see a lot of folks, and he's got a book, Lessons Learned at Full Draw, and I think a lot of folks could learn a lot from that book, and just gonna shout out him and maybe sell a book or two for him.
Yeah, man, and if you guys go back through archives, he was a guest on our podcast, the Hunting with an Outfitter, because he is also an outfitter too, and that book is not. It's very much this is just all the knowledge I've gained over my year. It's not necessarily it's not a how-to book. It's not I'm an expert book. It's just here's a lot of information.
He learned.
Yeah, and we were talking at the deer show when we saw him yesterday too. And like, hey, the way that I work, it's like I can't tell you how to do a lot of things. I can tell you what not to do because I've screwed up a lot, you know. And he kind of echoed that same thing. Like, oh yeah, I've made tons of mistakes. And maybe if you read that book, you can avoid some of those. You know?
Great book.
But
we'll try to link that in comments or something.
Yeah, so we'll throw it in there.
Folks can get to that. But yeah, let's. Corey, you need to shout out anybody. That's one of our things.
Shout out to probably my wife.
There you
called it, man.
Give my wife a shout out.
That's
there.
right.
I'm the only one that hasn't done that on this show.
How many?
Look bad.
How many guests have we had that have shouted out their wives?
It's probably most of
them. Almost every guest goes.
That's why she don't critique this for me.
Yeah.
She's gonna critique this for me. She's like, you shouldn't have said that.
That's all right. That's all right. We all need critiquing here now.
Yeah.
That's right. And hey, ain't nothing wrong with shouting out the wife either.
Yeah. One of these days I'll do it organically and it'll mean something. But everybody else does it, so I'm like,
you can't do it behind
not doing
somebody.
it again.
No. How about this? How about not an official sponsor of the podcast, but shout out to Permethrin, because right now I'm like getting destroyed by chiggers as we speak. I'm trying not to claw my flesh
everybody's
off.
Watching Taylor.
I'm scratching myself to death. But yeah, Sawyer's products.
Yeah,
how about hook us up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look, we didn't even get off the side by side the other day, and we're both eat up.
No, we did not.
It's just that time of year.
Anyways, switching gears, let's talk some waterfowl. Let's just kind of a general statement here, Corey, or a general question. What makes an ideal waterfowl habitat, and how long, or how do you go about creating one or restoring one, maybe? And I know that Jeremy's wanting to go. We're talking about Alabama here because this is not necessarily a prime destination. Yeah, like maybe somewhere in Arkansas or something like that might be. So I guess in relation to the Southeast.
The deep South.
Yes, the deep South, probably, yeah. What's kind of the ideal habitat, or how do you go about making that or even restoring one?
I mean, all my experience mainly is East Coast, Southeast. That's mainly my experience of building duck impoundments, building duck habitat. Grew up hunting, flooded swamps and cattle ponds and, just wherever you could find them. And then, later on, get into more high tech, levying up a field, flooding a field with standing corn, millet. You got all different varieties of grains. But the main way to answer your question there, the main way, it's really, it depends. Like y'all say, it all depends. But it depends on where you are as far as location of a water source, a bigger water source like the Tennessee River, the Coosa River, what you can do there. You got, we got a variety of ducks that come through here. We're part of the Mississippi Flyway, but we're right there on the Atlantic Flyway. So we've got Guntersville Lake right here where we're close by. That's a lot of diver ducks come there. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of attract those ducks, and it's specific to what species you're wanting too. We got hooded mergansers and wood ducks are here. They raise here and they're here, and that's a lot of what people hunt in these flooded swamps, and then you'll get other species with whatever you build. So. It just depends on, where you're at, the location. If you got good fields, you got good soil, you got the right dirt to make a duck impoundment. You want, some clay to build stuff with. So it's just depends. You got up here on top of Sand Mountain right here. It's going to be hard to build a duck impoundment on top of the mountain.
Right.
You got farm ponds up here, these cattle pastures that, you could have mallards and gabball and everything, and that's what I grew up kind of doing. It was just hopping around at everybody's buddies' farms, and you'd hunt there maybe twice a year, and that's what you get.
Just bounce around.
But then you go to Jackson County, and you got the refuge just close by, and there's thousands of ducks that go there every year. And then you got Wheeler Refuge, you got Eufaula, all across the state, and around those refuges, there's guys that's building these duck impoundments now that are killing, 1,000 ducks a year.
Yeah.
So it just depends where you're at and what you want to do with it. So
the correct answer.
Yeah. So what I heard, what I heard out of that is there's really no magic bullet.
Right.
Yeah.
Which everybody always looks for.
Right. And then with deer and turkey, you're going to have them on a property, but the weather plays a vital part in duck migration. That's just what it boils down to. You get a harsh winter up north. We don't necessarily have to have a harsh winter here to have the ducks. Harsh winters up north that cover up the food, that freeze up everything. That's going to be able to push more ducks down here to give us more options, or they've got to have other places to go. So, and then, you get into hunting pressure and all that. that all plays into everything. So, that kind of broad answer there.
It's cool. So you said that something about your trying to target specific species, and then others are just going to come as a byproduct. They're going to start showing up too. Is there anything that you can do regionally, like, you might do here that you wouldn't do somewhere else, I guess, when you're trying to build a habitat for them?
What I've kind of learned is kind of just trial and error. And what I've noticed over the years is, like, my duck ponds I've built, I've got some that are specific to 18 inches of water. And then that's basically based on what duck you're providing. You got puddle ducks that kind of just dip down, 6 to 18 inches of water, and that's where they want the food. So corn, you can flood a little bit higher, but variety of water depths will get you, in my theory, get you a variety of ducks. Because around this area, you got diver ducks that come to Gunnersville Lake, and they're diving down. I mean, they could dive down, 2 foot of water, and they're eating off the ground. They're getting invertebrates out of the milfold and the hydrilla on the Gunnersville Lake, and that's kind of what they do. So, really, a Pacific duck. I mean, you got the blue wing teal that come in early season September. That's kind of where we start. We'll have a couple of areas flooded for that to target them at that time.
And that's just, I don't mean to interrupt. That's just you're doing everything earlier.
Oh yeah. So it's same thing.
So what depth of water are you wanting for the blue wing?
Oh, they like mud flats. You're planting millet.
Okay.
Shallow water, something that's easy that you don't want to.
Okay, so shallow.
You don't want to get into your neck deep in
shallow
September.
Water early.
Yeah, you don't want to get deep water in September and snakes are still out.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gunnersville Lake. I mean, I've hunted it for blue. That's really a good place to blue wing teal hunt. I mean, some of the back of the creeks and stuff where it's mud flats. There's quite a few blue wings that show up, and they'll be here today and they're going tomorrow.
Right.
They're going south quick.
Yeah.
And so
they seem like they do everything quick.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Oh yeah, you'll I can see them come in one afternoon, then you think they're going to be there the next day and they're gone.
Yeah.
So but I mean what I've noticed around here like the big mallard, everybody wants to go kill limit of mallards. That's what they want to do. But you're in Alabama.
We're gonna go kill a 6-man today.
So yeah. So I mean, the other thing I didn't tell you, I guide all of our hunts. So I take people out, and some of their expectations are like Arkansas because that's what they've hunted, and we've had great hunts. I mean, we can do some, we have good hunts, but it's not going to be a limit of mallards every time.
Right.
I mean, you might have those days where the weather lines up and they want to come to those fields and feed, but generally around here, the mallards are been shot at since Canada.
Yes, that's right.
And they're trying to find a place to get away from everybody, and it's going to be in your thicker swamps, and that's where you're going to have to go in and try to set up on them. And then you got seasons where we have more divers than we do puddle ducks, and then we have seasons where we have more puddle ducks than we do divers. This past season, we had a lot of teal, a lot of gadwall, and we didn't get the divers like we normally do. So we were on our duck totals that we were off, a couple hundred because of those divers, and that was kind of in our club. I mean, you got some clubs that they only kill drake mallards. That's all of it. You go hunt their place, you kill a drake mallard, that's it. But they got all these other ducks. So the guys I'm fortunate to take, I mean, they're wanting to have a good time, kill ducks, and get their limit and get out of there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I like. I mean, because we're spreading out everything. It's not, we're targeting one species.
Right.
So, but anyways, I'm kind of chasing rabbits.
No,
that's great.
Yeah.
It sounds like to me that a duck hunter in our part of the world best have realistic expectations.
Right.
Right. And I
just like the deer hunters.
Yeah. And I have worked for some that don't.
Oh yeah.
And those properties end up being sold most of the time.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I love selling duck properties.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned with the weather playing a major role in kind of activity. If someone says, hey, I need you to come out here and this is what I want to do with my property, I want to try to manage this place and create some environments that are conducive for ducks hanging around, how long before they can see a response, like a positive impact? Is that another it depends, or is that another like?
I mean, it depends. Location. It's really depends on their location. What's their expectations of that response they're wanting to see. If they're close to a refuge somewhere and they put up, they got a 10-acre field of corn, they're going to get some ducks there. Sure. But usually, there's some experts out there that will say, hey, if you build a duck impoundment, you want to leave it alone for 3 years, and what they call imprinting.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that.
These ducks come in, and they get used to that area. But I believe there is some imprinting, but really it's like this year we had a wet season, and my crops changed. I tried to plant whatever I can, and I'm trying to maximize the most food I can in my duck impoundments.
Based off what weather's giving you?
Yeah. Okay. So we got corn planted, and we got millet, we got sorghum, we got planted chufa, planted a variety of things. And some years it's more corn than others, and some years it's not because it gets flooded out and we have to replant. And then usually the millet is what you fall back on to, is because that's going to mature in 60 days.
Right. So, fairly easy. And
yeah. So that's what it. It just varies. So to answer your question, it just really depends on your location.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
And I'm going to interrupt, but expand on location a little bit, and I'm going to try to ask. By location, do you mean specifically of where you are in the flyway, or location based off of where big water's at and where ducks are already spending their time?
Yeah.
Or food, or is it a combination of all of those things?
It's a combination.
Okay, just all built into one.
If you're setting 10 miles from a refuge somewhere, mainly those ducks are going to that refuge during the day, and then a lot of times they're going to these places in roost.
Right.
And what I've experienced here in Alabama is we have our better hunt days when it's raining, cloudy, overcast. Them ducks are coming back, and it's usually because there's a weather pattern, happening, and they're feeding up, getting their energy to fly on south or fly back north a little bit. I believe they're, down here they back and forth. They're back and forth traveling. So, it's location and all those ingredients to create. Then you sell land. You got Jackson County up there. You got some guy that's got a nice duck impoundment, and then there's a 10-acre field beside it. That's just not done anything to, and you could put on there, hey,
this can be
a duck impoundment, and look what they're killing beside you. You may build a duck impoundment there, and it may be great, but it really depends on your neighbor, what they're doing, and are they hunting too much, or are they hunting not enough, or if they got the food and you don't.
Well, that led me into one of my other questions, in waterfowl, being the fact that ducks can just fly away. How important are neighbors? But what I'm hearing is they are still vitally important.
Yeah, it's not as important as like trying to mature a 5-year-old deer,
right?
But if you got 10 acres and you're trying to flood, and you got a neighbor that's sky busting, what I call sky bust, when you're shooting a duck way out of the range and it just flies over your duck impoundment, you're wishing. That's mainly what people do on Guntersville Lake. You're trying to pull those ducks in, and that guy's disrupting that.
Right.
But if you get on the same page with this guy, say, hey, let's shoot at ducks that are decoying in. Decoying ducks or whatever. That just helps out. It's just it goes back to hunting pressure, and but if you've got a big piece of property, you could control that for yourself. So kind of like what we do. We've got that, and we rotate where we hunt to minimize hunting pressure, and we're creating a area that, when their ducks flying over, they see water,
right,
and they're going to hold in that area. We've got roosting holes that that we don't mess with, and that kind of holds the ducks there. So it really just depends on how much land you got, the location, the hunting pressure, all of it. It ties into one to really how well you can create a duck sanctuary, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was very interesting when we were in Texas. You know, they had very limited water out on the actual ranch.
Right.
And we would every now and then jump some up. You know, they would bust up out of there. And I'm like,
if there was water, there was ducks in the water.
Yeah, I'm like, where are these things coming from? You know, but then you start to think about, well, we're not that far away from the Rio Grande. I mean, that's
I mean, just right off the coast,
right.
too.
But when you're standing out there just looking over the landscape, though, it's like, gosh,
why would a duck be here?
Yes, where in the world would a duck come from out here?
And it's amazing the species numbers that they kill out there. I mean, well over a dozen species a day in some of those areas.
I mean, when we went down to the river,
thousands of birds.
I mean, they just kept on and kept on. It was pretty impressive. But
yeah, there was big rafts of birds on the river.
Yeah. And then, of course, Brock has to hand catch or pleco catfish out of the river, too. So it's crazy. Yeah. Here's one that I'm not sure how much this would apply to where you're at now currently, but what about like farming practices or land development? How has that kind of helped or affected or changed what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, that goes along with the where we talked about migration, weather patterns, bringing ducks down. A lot of people talk about it, but different farming practices up north has caused, I believe, because you'll see it, cause, I think, an effect of the migration. They're not, going to no-till where they're picking the crops and leaving what's left over on the ground. You'll get the snow up there, but a lot of the mallards that we're seeing that are not migrating are older mallards, so they're able to bear that that cold for however long and stay up there because there's food on the ground. The dry fields, and it affects it a good bit.
That's interesting. Never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. Let's see, kind of a follow-up with that. What policies or land programs have helped or hurt most recent years? Is there any of that kind of stuff that's kind of gotten in the way or maybe have facilitated some growth in those areas? I
know that Delta Waterfowl and Ducks Unlimited, they're doing things now that are trying. It's mitigating a lot of that. Main focus is the breeding ground, the nesting grounds. Prairie pothole region and all that is saving these nesting grounds. When we have years of droughts, it affects our population big time. And I know they're a big thing is I think they've really started on trapping nest predators, and that's a big thing that they're starting to do. And that's going to help out long term. But really, it's hard to say on a specific thing. But really the farming practices, and then the urbanization. Really, you go up to Huntsville, right there at the Cabela store right there, that pond right
all
there. Tons of ducks, and it acts as like a refuge. For a hunter, it's good for the ducks. They're coming down here and finding a place, but for a hunter, it's no good. They're just staying there. They got no pressure on them, and you go to Big Spring Park. A lot of those mallards there are resident mallards,
right?
But I've seen black ducks, I've seen pintails, everything in there, and they're just finding these places, and they're adjusting to it, but it's just acting as a refuge. So, and you got a lot of guys that that don't like the refuge, and then they do like the refuge. So I think refuges are important and a vital part of keeping our population up. But to an extent,
right?
But because yours, they have the same weather we do.
Yes.
So if they don't plant enough food and you get the food, the ducks are going to need to eat.
Right.
So it's just I don't say a specific policy or anything. I really don't know, but that's mainly what I see is towns growing out, urbanization. I mean, it affects everything.
Yeah.
Farming practices. That's my take on it. So.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It is.
I don't guess I ever really thought of it that much, but yeah, you go by all these little town ponds, more or less holding ponds in all these subdivisions, and they're slap loaded with ducks, and you can't hunt them.
Nope.
Or at least not legally anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure plenty of people hunt them or try to. But yeah, that's interesting. We had a group born and raised on our farm pond the first time that I can recall in a long time. We've got 6 mallards that have hatched and raised, and they've all survived so far. Of course, we don't have nest predators a whole heck of a lot. There on our farm.
Yeah,
it's been fun to watch,
and that's what you get around Alabama. I mean, you got a lot of resident mallards in this area. South Alabama, where they got catfish ponds, I mean, there's a lot of resident mallards there. So these mallards are not migrating. I mean, they're staying here year round, but it's supplement somebody's hunting.
Right.
I mean, they're hunting.
Yeah, they're being shot.
But then you go to Sunset down there, and there's grandmas down there feeding them with bread too. So, but
mallards so fat they can't get off the ground.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean that. And then there's some other things as far as other clubs that what they do is they get these mallards that are bred with wild mallards, and they're releasing mallards on their property to supplement the hunting.
Seen that.
And there's all this debate whether that's affecting, the wild birds compared to that. I mean, I've seen both ends of it. We've actually tried it.
Yeah.
And
I was curious if they were going to shut that down with the AI scare. That's going on. I was curious if they were going to jump into that. But I hadn't heard.
No, I mean right now, I mean it's as far as I know, you could still get.
And by AI, folks, I don't mean artificial intelligence. ChatGPT.
Avian influenza.
Avian influenza. ChatGPT's not going to get the ducks, y'all. Okay?
I mean, we don't know that. It could happen,
It could eventually when Skynet hooks up.
Yes, go watch Terminator.
But yes. Well, I got a question that's duck related, but it's also land real estate related. If somebody were to call you, being a waterfowl biologist, and said, "Hey, man, here's the deal. I've got $2.5 million. I want to buy a duck place in North Alabama. Don't care which side of the state. What are you starting to look for first?" I know you said location, so that immediately tells me North Saudi and Wheeler that you want to kind of get close to those if you can. But if you can't, what are you looking for?
I mean, what else are their interests? Do they turkey hunt, deer hunt? Because I mean, if they want to do that, you can incorporate that too. I mean, Mobile, the Delta down there. I mean, there's some great places down there.
Really,
Eufaula.
Okay.
Anywhere on the Tom up and down Mississippi line. There's some areas over there that's really good. And Coosa River. I mean, around all of our rivers. I mean, like Alabama's got the most diverse rivers and waters, in the nation. So there's a lot of areas, and I'm saying that because I mean you're going to have wood ducks.
Yeah.
They're here, but I mean that's where I'd start. Is do they like mountainous terrain?
Right.
Do they like the flat? I mean, or do they want a turkey hunt too?
Are you going out and looking for the ability to construct new impoundments, or had you rather buy one that's been there? even if it hasn't been successful?
That will tell you a lot, and the lay of the land tells you a lot because what they used to call, old timers used to call, like beside the rivers and stuff, are called these fraction ponds. Mm-hmm. So these fraction ponds are, historic for holding ducks, mm-hmm. and they would fluctuate with the river.
Right.
So those areas are going to be great areas. Anywhere that naturally floods. Mm-hmm. From high water are going to be good areas. These swamps, and there's things, that there's programs you get on, wetland programs, mm-hmm. to restore stream side and to fix these swamps, and beavers damaging a lot of timber,
right.
And that are, swamps that are historical. A lot of those you can't really mess with,
right.
but those are ready-made properties.
Yeah,
they're ready-made properties, and they're holding ducks, and you really don't want to mess that up, mm-hmm. Because they're like, they're a big roost. There's a lot of ducks probably come in there that helps the whole area out, and they hold ducks throughout the winter. That's a safe haven for them, and that's where they go. So really, that's what I'd look for is neighboring properties. Trying to find
so really
the best habitat for them.
So if you can find an area that's already doing duck hunting things, that's really probably the ideal place to start.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
But if you got a family farm, that you've had in, all down the lineage, you want to start something, mm-hmm. that's going to be a little bit more difficult. It goes back to the location, right. But you can do it. It can be done, but that's when you're going to have to rely on the hunting pressure and maybe planting it, mm-hmm. and watching it, and just saying, hey, I'm not going to hunt it until like the last couple of days of the season.
Right.
And I'm going to try to build some ducks in there, let them imprint on the area, and then go hunt it. Just go see what happens.
Right.
And that just goes into, what's your budget on that? What you want to do. You get into all that. There's, I know you wanted to talk about that, is how to build duck impoundments and everything. So,
that's a perfect segue. You've built many, and I know this is a shot in the dark because it all depends on cubic yards of dirt. Mm-hmm. But just an average impoundment, average depth that you guys would do, what are you looking at building cost per acre roughly?
If you got the materials there, and what I'm saying is if you got the clay, the things you need to construct a dock, and mm-hmm. then good topsoil. We built a couple of docks here recently that it cost us around 15 to 20. And that's with a pan, but that's also leveling a field, mm-hmm. and putting the topsoil back. So there's a lot of tractor driving in
that's
that.
Right.
And
moving dirt from one place to another.
Yeah, a lot of hours on tractor.
It takes a lot of steel to do that.
And there's different ways to do it. And I've known guys that it's close to the river that's just took a turning plow, mm-hmm. and made a shallow pond, and it goes back to the the blue-winged teal. Mm-hmm. If you've got good water, you could do that. If you got the soil right and everything, you got some clay there, you could take a turning plow and keep turning that up until you make you a windrow. And
that's I saw some guys do that in Jackson County. I was trying to figure out for the life of me, because it's been years ago. So what are they doing? And they call it, and I don't even know if this is a technical term for it or not, but they just called it an Arkansas levee.
Yeah, it is.
But they were just running turning plows until they got that much
mm-hmm.
that much mounded up,
right.
And now you step off of that and you're gonna go off.
That's what they historically did for rice.
Gotcha.
And growing rice fields, you're doing that with the lay of the land, kind of like up here on Sand Mountain. You got terrace rows.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Same concept.
Okay.
But you're in a flat field.
Right.
And so that's basically how. That's probably the cheaper route of doing things. But it works well in Arkansas because of the number of ducks you have out there, and the mallards like those rice fields out there. So here you're going to be more successful. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, the more money you put into it, the more successful you will be, unless you're in those prime locations.
Well, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, any way, stretch, form, but you don't see, I mean, even hardly middle-class folks that are buying duck and building duck properties.
Right.
You know, it's upper middle class to upper class.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just, they're expensive.
Yep.
I mean, just aside the management cost, I mean, you know, you're a full-time employee. There's other full-time employees doing what you do. I mean, you got to consider that cost, and then you're talking at, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20, 25,000 an acre in this part of the world. I haven't seen one go much more than that, but I know they happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got. I mean, duck season to me is year round.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as duck season's over, I'm right in. You know, starting planning. I mean, my wife could tell you. I mean, it consumes me. But when you're draining these ponds, I mean, you got to have somebody there going checking it every day, because you got the flat-tailed rascals that come in there and try to destruct everything, and they'll stop up your pipe, and you get a pipe stopped up. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I mean, you gotta be on it and trap. I mean, that's a big thing. What we do in the spring is trap for beavers and try to mitigate that. But I mean, then you get it dry, and then you got to start planting. That's if you're doing the flooded fields. Right. You got to start planting. Then there's other ways too. You got the green tree reservoirs. You got flooded fields. Then you got your native species, moist soil impoundments, and those moist soil impoundments is your native species, smartweed and everything that they call them drawdowns. That's where you leave the water on there, where it's going to get rid of the unwanted invasive species, and then you draw it down later in June to grow those grasses that produce a seed that the ducks like. And there's all different rates of when the drawdowns. Right. A lot of people out in Arkansas and Mississippi do that. Around here, mostly everybody that's got a duck impoundment are planting something. And then what I've done here too is you've got some areas that are like those what I call fraction ponds that normally flood, and then they'll dry out. And then you just throw seed out there on the mud flats, and it'll germinate and create a crop there.
That's what we do to that one little small one that you and I looked at there on the river bank. Right. You just can't do anything else with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still got water on it now.
Yeah.
It usually dries out about August.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was curious if anybody was doing that much around here. I didn't figure they were.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot. I don't do any waterfowl management, but I do a lot of waterfowl planting.
Right.
Just because I've got the equipment to do it, and hopefully.
Well, that just goes back into what's your budget and what's your expectations with the property, realistically.
Yeah.
And if it's that one hunt at Thanksgiving with your family that you want to do, you can do it cheaper, but you're not going to be as successful as someone that's out there planting corn, getting soil samples and doing it right.
So if somebody does moist soil to the nines and somebody's doing planting to the nines, which is better? And that's just an opinion.
Right.
I know they're
and my opinion,
and here I guess is what I'm saying.
My opinion, the corn. I mean, even if it's in the same location, and that's what I've seen. Yeah, I've seen it's just. I mean, that's just what they like. I mean, and what I'm basing this off of is habitat. I mean, we talked about it before. You plant a cornfield, and they turn it into a roost.
Yep.
They're coming in there. To me, that's success.
Right, because you got ducks living there.
You got ducks living there. Because there's going to be days that those ducks are going to come in there. They may fly off, but they're coming back.
Right.
Because they got to feed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all like deer hunting. They got different feeding times, and that's where they want to be.
And I do want to back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, all the way back, because I know there will be somebody that will ask, and I know the answer to this, but when you say a duck roost, what do you mean?
Okay, duck roost is kind of where ducks go in the evening,
mm-hmm.
and I mean there's been some outlaws out there that what they call hunting the roost, mm-hmm. and it's usually after shooting time is over, and they've shot. I mean, that game wardens, that's what they'll go out and listen for it. And but what it is ducks are wherever they are on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
They're either coming back to a place where they can feed all night, or they can rest and be safe. Usually, sometimes these swamps that are thick,
mm-hmm.
they go into them, and that's where they go to sleep at night.
There you go.
They're coming to rest and just stay there.
That don't mean sitting on a limb in a tree.
No, it means they're huddled up, and sometimes it does. I mean,
right? Yeah, there's certain ducks.
Yeah, I mean, wood ducks, they'll get up on a log. There'll be
right.
20 of them on a log there.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I've seen some in our woods. It's flooded. There's some like little mounds of dirt, and it's just
stand up on
mud. They've
mm-hmm.
just been standing there all night. So, but yeah, that's what a roost is.
Okay, somebody would ask.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody being me. I got one for you here. Could you share maybe like your favorite success story of a habitat you either helped to build, or maybe
mm-hmm.
one that was kind of on the decline that you were able to bring back from, or something like that? What's like your favorite one of those?
We built one next to a waterway here in North Alabama, but there was some there when I got there that didn't have the water control structures, and we replaced them. But then there was one that we built that was all my design, my first one, and we planted the crops. And then that first season, I went out there. And this is another thing about the roost, is you kind of tell what ducks are in the area.
Mm-hmm.
I went out there, and I sat till dark, and there were thousands of ducks coming in there. And I just sat back. I was like, wow. This was a field,
mm-hmm.
and then I've turned it into a big duck roost. There's thousands. They just kept on coming. And it was just mallards and pintails, and I'm like, okay. We got something right here,
Yeah.
And it's since then. It's been a jam up spot.
Yeah.
Just perfect location.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that was a real kind of moment where I was like, okay.
Yeah, when the plan comes together, there's nothing like it.
Yep.
No doubt.
So,
have you ever rolled up on a place before and been like, "Ooh, this is not going to work"?
Yeah. Actually, I had a friend that was looking in Jackson County at buying some property. And we looked at a place. I won't say where it is, but we looked at this place, and he's like, "Yeah, you want to go in with me on this, or I think it'd be a good place." They built a duck impoundment, so we pull up and get up there, and there's not even grass growing on the field. So that what they've done is took the topsoil off and built a dock with it.
Yep.
And
oh Lord,
another thing, I'll define dock. A dock is like a mound of dirt that you use to hold water back or hold water off of a certain area, but dock, dam, levee, you can say anything. But anyways, they took the topsoil off the field and pushed it and made the levee with it. And
number one no.
Yeah, and I was just like, this. It's in a good location, but we're going to have to take all that out. So I was telling him, yeah, you could probably do it, but you're going to have to take all that out and redo this. This
sounds like one I've been on before.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what that was it. I've seen another area. I went with a guy that he was asking me, hey, I'm looking at buying this. Come hunt with me. The guy said we go hunt. So we went and looked at it, and he's like, it rained that night real good. It had we had a probably 2-inch rain. So we get there, and it's in a good location, but the duck impoundment, the dock was overflowing in all different areas, had washes, and I was like, you're going to have to repair all this. And I was just telling him, I was like, the guy that's selling it, if there was ducks going to be here, I don't think he'd be selling it. So that's another thing. Stuff like that. You kind of got to watch out. They've tried it, and then they realize it's not going to produce,
what it's going to take to make it produce.
Yeah,
I'm not willing
it's going
to
to
put
cost
that money
more.
in.
Yeah.
And what I have seen from just our real estate side of things and looking at these things is you've got a group, and they're not a group, but it's a group, different individuals, but they're all doing kind of the same thing. They're buying these properties that could be duck hunting, and they're going in and throwing something in fast and selling it as a ready-made duck hunting place. Right. And I've sold one or two of them, and I, just honest, I don't, I'm not a duck guy. It's got everything on it. There's no history of ducks here. If you want to buy it, then have at it. Yep. Not really my suggestion, but
right. What they're paying for is the work that went into
it. That's it. And when you have to redo all that work is where you start buying that work 2 and 3 times, it starts getting kind of hard to swallow.
It's hard to sell a vision for something.
It is.
For something that isn't here yet, but it could be.
Well,
it's difficult. I don't care what any industry. It's just hard to sell somebody on what could be.
I learned the other day, and my wife, just doing what she does in the therapy fields, she reads a lot on research that's coming out, and she was reading some new research here a while back that it's a very small percentage, and I'm probably going to describe this the wrong way, but when you talk about something, or we're talking about this, if you can visualize it, and I can talk through these pieces of property, or I can walk out on a new place and I can see it.
Yeah.
Do you know that it's rare that people can do that?
Yeah.
They can't see it. They can describe to you what they're thinking, but they can't actually just see it.
Yep.
And I'm luckily one of those people. I can walk out and I'm like, yeah, they're there. It's like I'm looking at it already on the ground.
Right.
But it's when you said the vision, a lot of people, they don't have that ability to have that vision, and that's not a fault of their own. They just don't know.
Right.
But some people try to create a vision that's just not going to work.
Yep.
Well,
hey, look, I've been guilty of it. We all learn lessons.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite things that I get to do just with what I do for a living, is taking what –
mess it up.
No,
fix it.
Just like I know what not to do now. But I do enjoy the process of you meet with a client and they go, well, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'd really like to be, and I don't really know how to get there. There's some middle ground here that we've got to figure out how to bridge the gap, and I need you to help me with that. And that is fun for me. I really enjoy there's a Erwin McManus quote that I've held on to for a long time. But
y'all ready for some knowledge?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
It ain't my knowledge. It's somebody else's a whole lot smarter than me. But he was just kind of talking about God's design for man, is to cultivate and to create. That's kind of what you're made in his image, just what we're supposed to do. And,
right.
And his quote is, you're made to materialize the invisible. In order to take something
deep,
something that is a concept or somebody's dream or someone's, and it's
turn it into reality.
Make it. It's not here yet, but it could be. And and how can we get it here? And so
the best version of yourself.
And it's fun for me, especially with media and a camera and digital stuff like that. For somebody to go, man, I really think that whatever this idea is, has some potential. I just can't get there by myself. Do you think you could help us? Yes, and that's fun.
And it's cool you say that, but that's where, you can equate it to any business you want to, but I'm equating it to real estate because that's my primary business. When people ask how do you get paid? What's your commission? They go, oh my gosh, I'm not paying that. But what you just said is what they're paying for.
Yeah.
They're paying to go from idea to reality.
What's that worth?
And yes, and the shortest amount of time you can get there is going to be the most expensive.
Yep.
If you're willing to wait a long time, yeah, you can do it cheap.
Right.
But creating something from nothing, or creating or having a vision, have somebody build it out, the quicker that's going to happen is
absolutely.
cost you more.
And there are times where it makes sense to pay the expert and let them do what they do.
Amen.
So that you can do what you do,
Yes.
and everybody's happy instead of just trying to cut corners and save money all the
Yep.
time. Like
my dad, it's hard for him to wrap his head around that, being the generation that he's in. He's 83, and they tried to fix everything that they tore up.
Sure.
Anything like that. And he'll get on me for spending money on fixing something or doing something. He's like, "You're more than capable of doing it." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm going to make more money over here doing what I'm doing than I'm going to save by doing that."
that's right.
I'd rather pay him because he's going to do it quickly and get it out of my hair, and I'm back to using it, and I can go over here and make my money and pay for it and still have more money in my pocket at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right. And so sometimes it makes sense to just let.
There's your business knowledge on
for real.
for free.
We're talking ducks in business, guys. Sorry. No, go ahead. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about cultivating. I mean, we've had this place. I've been working there for 11 years, and I'm still critiquing little things.
Yeah.
You're learning each season. Like last year, we had corn planted, and we had a bunch of teal there, and they wanted to be in the corn. They wouldn't fly over the open water. They flew over the corn, and they went in the corn. So I've got a duck blind that I moved around where it's going to have standing corn in front of it, mainly just to go shoot those teal. So,
Right.
I mean, you're constantly cultivating something out. I mean, figuring it out. So that's leading into that. Like, you got somebody that, has a piece of property and they want to make it into something. They've got to understand that it's going to take years and time to figure out what that property, the best version it can be of itself.
Well, so, I know both of you guys, and even Matt and Bray, they're not here today, but there is something to be said about the look on someone's face when it all comes together and you helped them get there, or whatever it is. Like you were talking about that field, you're like, hey, that was my first design, and I put it together, and I'm out here staying till dark, and there's thousands of ducks. Like, I mean, what did that feel like? And
Accomplishment.
When you can do that for other people, when somebody else goes, that's exactly what was in my mind. That's exactly what I wanted. It's like, yes, it's just a good feeling all the way around. So.
It is. Yep, and for us, in the hunting side of things, it's not always about the harvest. Sometimes it is. You're going to have, like down there at Cedar Mountain, all the stuff we've shot, filmed, and done down there. Those guys, they've shot a doe or two here and there, but one of the sons took their first buck last year, great deer, upper 130s, might have been low 140s type deer.
Solid.
And, dude, his face and his dad's face, one of the owners, I wouldn't take anything for their excitement over that.
Yes. I mean,
and it's just, it's been a long time coming. That's been a long project, and it's still going on and still will be going on for a while.
Yes.
But like you say, it takes time. Time investment, money, and monetary investment.
No doubt. Well, before we get out of here, I got one more for you, Corey. This is kind of it's more general, I guess, because it could be another. It depends. But for landowners, or maybe even guys that are leasing ground, hunting clubs or something like that, trying to develop some places for waterfowl that's conducive for that. What are kind of some first steps to take, or some first things that they need to do without screwing things up from the get-go, I guess?
I mean, there's several things. I mean, you got to pick out. I mean, what's your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve, everybody in the club getting to hunt separate days, or are you wanting to have like we've got a club in East Alabama, and we've got a duck swamp on it, and all the guys in the club kind of get together and say, hey, we're going to hunt this day. And if you're available to come, everybody goes at one time. But after you hunt it that one day, it's pretty much shot for at least a couple weeks. So we try to get together. So that's kind of what you start with, is kind of what's your goals, and then figure out the goals. And the biggest thing is, if in a club, you kind of need it to be like a dictatorship. You got to have.
Who said that?
you gotta have one guy that is
not afraid to piss everybody off.
Yeah, and makes the rules. So, if we're going to build a duck impoundment on this property, he needs to make the rules and the expectations of that, and then they need to abide by them. Because if you've got other people that got different ideas, they're going to mess it up for everybody else.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of, what I have. I mean, what we do up there. I mean, we got one guy that's got a vision about it, and everybody goes along with it, and everybody's, doing the same thing. And so that's kind of where to start. And then mainly, I mean, if you're going to build a duck impoundment, there's places that you can and cannot do that. So, I mean, there's, the Army Corps. You got to get permits sometimes with them, and then big place in RCS will kind of help you out with that. And there's some funding for some of that too, some wetland restoration projects and stuff like that. So that'd be a good source to contact. Figuring out what you want to spend on it. There's you could build duck impoundments, build the levees with tractor and a pan. A pan is pulls behind a tractor, scrapes up dirt, and then it also dump the dirt out. But it also packs as you go. To me, that's the most efficient, and because it's got a level on there, and you're able to knock it out pretty quick. Also, I've built duck impoundments with an excavator and a dozer. You're running transit lines where you got that level that you want to get to with the dirt. That's how you build your dam, and it takes longer with that way, but you can be you can't do as much with excavator and a dozer that you can do with a pan. Because a pan, you could level the field and build the dam at the same time.
Right.
You don't have to do one project at a time with the other. So that depends, and then on what you're wanting to spend, and then if your property's if it's got areas that's kind of already there, I mean, see what you could do with what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a beaver swamp on there that's already producing, what can we do to maximize what we're doing here? Let's drain it down in June and throw out some millet and see if that helps out. And that's your lower cost, that's kind of what we do at our club is, hey, let's try to get this thing down. It's a lake that was built to help minimize flood damage, and it's built by the Army Corps. So beavers are actually dammed up the drain right now. Right. So it's flooded a lot more than it should, but in the summertime that water will go down, and there's areas that you could throw out millet. So that's low cost. So you look at that, and then really get once you implement that, get a hunt plan. I mean, I think that first year is crucial as far as seeing what you got and getting everybody's expectations, kind of bring it down. Hey, this ain't Arkansas. This is Alabama. This is where we're at. And, if you got a ton of ducks coming in there, I wouldn't just go out there, we got tons of ducks. Let's go shoot.
Mow them down.
Let's go throw them down. Let's set back and see what happens. And that's on a new place. But even these old beaver swamps and stuff, I mean, you could run ducks out of there by overhunting it and too much pressure. I mean, it affects a lot of it. But after that, I mean, you get your guys in line what you're going to do hunting it. But a lot of guys say the 3 year kind of to imprint ducks. So you flood the field, whether you got corn or whatever, flooded timber. I always leave my water on there at the end of the season till like March, because you got ducks flying back north, and they're going to take whatever crop you got left, and that also helps with reseeding. You plant a lot of corn, you're going to have some reseed the next,
volunteer corn.
Yeah, volunteer, and it's a nuisance to get rid of, and you don't want it too thick out there. You can't grow, and so you got that, and that's basically the cycle of it. So
let me throw another question in there, because from the land sales side, this is the number one question I get. How important are records?
It's good. It's very important. I mean, like, I take records of what we kill and weather, what we kind of planted that year, how I kind of take note of what the prairie pothole region was doing that year, what the duck report was that year, and kind of base that on what we're doing, and seeing if certain things affect that. Like finally I'm getting some, over the years I've got some pretty good data on that, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm always cultivating, trying to figure out a different way to hunt different things, and starting
to find trends to capitalize on.
Yeah, and setting up, I might tell these guys, hey, we don't have to get up at 5:30. Let's go out there at 9 o'clock. We've talked about doing it, but we still end up. Everybody's ready to go. Go out there. So, but I mean and then you might want to hunt the afternoon. You could hunt all up till shooting time. I mean that's like these roost areas. I've seen places where ducks will be there in the morning, they leave, and then you got a storm coming, in the afternoon before dark. They're going to come back before that storm and feed. So, I mean, it just depends on that. And we've had days, you get these couple of snows in Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
We had one really good hunt. I mean, we started out, we were hunting that place I told you we built that I really liked. We were there, and it's kind of slow that morning. It was raining, and then it turned to snow. I don't know what happened. The ducks just turned on. They were just coming in like 2s and 3s, just right into the decoys. And before you know it, we all limited out quick. And it was just like, where did this come from? And it's just big old snowflakes, and they just come right in. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Anyways,
that's cool. Well, Jeremy, you got anything else to throw at him?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff, especially for somebody like me that don't.
I do have one more thing, because I wanted to ask somebody that was actually a waterfowl aficionado. All right, so you obviously take part in shooting and harvesting a lot of ducks.
Right.
What's your number one recipe?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Where you going if you're gonna eat waterfowl?
What?
And it can be good. I don't care, as long as it's waterfowl. What's your number one go-to?
I mean, I've ate it several different ways. We've actually had it smoked. It's pretty good. But what I've learned from some guys in South Carolina, you take some duck breasts, marinate it in soy sauce, and then it's soy sauce, Chinese five spice, olive oil, brown sugar, and then leave it in a bag for a day. Then take it out, get your grill real hot, lay that thing on there, cook it rare, take it out, slice it up, pour honey over it, and it's good. It's a good little, put your toothpick in there and eat them, yeah.
Moral of the story, guys, y'all heard the word he said. Rare.
Yeah, rare. You got to duck's good rare.
Yeah.
Yep. We've had it that way. I've had it in some tacos like that. And it does matter what species.
I was going to say, what about species though?
I mean, a lot of people's like, oh, it's a diver duck, I ain't eating it. And then, I've had it all, and it kind of, it depends, but you can make a duck taste good.
Yeah.
When you wrap it in bacon, it's going to.
Oh, absolutely.
Throw away the duck and eat the bacon. You know,
everything's great with pig fat on it.
Yeah, that's right. But you got. I think teal and wood duck's the best.
Okay.
Teal looks like a dove breast.
Okay.
It's pretty light, colored, and the wood ducks. I mean, they're eating mainly mass stuff. And
what's the worst one?
A coot.
You coot or you hooded merganser. Anything that's eats invertebrates, or like a fish eater. Yeah, you get your.
I figured the coots on Gunnersville would probably be all right, as much as they stand on the causeway and eat corn.
Oh yeah, eat corn off those trucks. That's right. But yeah, no, we had some South Carolina. I worked with some guys, and all of us guides, would get together and we're like, let's cook some coots. So we'd try it. It really was not that bad,
right?
But it was a little bit greasy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty greasy.
That's my favorite phrase, I think, in the English language. It's like, it wasn't that bad. That means it wasn't that good either. You know what I mean? It's like, who are you trying to convince that was
glass
good?
half full kind of thing.
That's
is
right.
it good or bad?
I've only eaten a handful of different duck species, and they were all prepared by somebody else, and some of them were great, and some of them were just really bad. And now it's been long enough I couldn't tell you what it was. It's been long enough.
I mean, my favorite is speckle-bellied goose. I mean, it's good meat. I mean, it's good, but we don't get a lot of that in Alabama.
Yeah. The goose thing throws me off. We get a lot of geese at our house. I mean, we're just overlooking Gunnersville Lake, and we got 2 ponds on our farm. So we get waterfowl that just come right up the ridge before they, go back and forth to the lake. But a lot of geese.
Right.
And the last couple of years, we'll get one snow goose, and there's like, you're lost, buddy. Don't know where you crossed up and got with these guys, but
that's fun.
Wrong color.
Well, a couple of years ago, I had a big tundra swan.
Yeah.
Out there on one of ours. I drove out there. I was like, what is that white thing out there? It was a big old tundra swan by itself. And I'm like, just sitting out there by itself. Yeah, lost.
Yep. And I'm trying to think. Somebody had pictures of a Ross's.
Oh yeah.
Here last year,
Gunnersville there.
It was the first one I'd ever seen, and around. I was like, interesting.
I've got a friend that swears that if you don't like duck or any kind of waterfowl, that they do goosey Q in a crock pot. And he said, "I'm telling you, it'll make a believer out of anybody. It's just like it shreds, and looks like pulled pork.
Goosey Q.
Yeah, so they call it goosey Q, and they're like, I'm telling you, goosey Q in the crock pot.
I mean, you got to cook that stuff long. This goose can. I mean, especially these out here that stay at the walking trail over there, tough.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Guys I work with, they used to make jerky out of them, feed it to their dogs. So
yeah,
that good.
That good. Yep.
Well, I've never been one to let anybody hunt on our place because of my wife, but every now and then I'll let folks shoot some geese there just to
thin down.
They crap on everything.
Oh yeah,
and look, when they drop a load, it ain't a small one.
Oh no, they don't walk barefoot out there.
No, they make a mess. So I let my nephew and some of his buddies every now and again, but it's rare.
Oh man, well, Corey, thank you so much for hanging out, man.
Appreciate y'all having me.
And if anybody out there's got questions, waterfowl management, y'all can shoot them to us, and we can get you in contact with Corey or shoot the info over to him, and y'all can ask a qualified person about it.
That's right. No doubt. And, you guys just hang in there, stay on board with us. We've got some stuff coming up. I know it's crazy to think, but it's middle of July now. It's going to be hunting. Deer season will be here before you know it, and then, it'll be –
oh, yeah, we got some things moving and shaking, finally headed in the right direction. So.
Yes.
Actually, ducks.
That's true.
Ducks in September.
That's right.
Yep. It'll be here before you know it.
Yep. Right around Dove. I mean, it's that second weekend.
Yeah. So it'll be back-to-back weekends to have openers, I guess. Cause,
no, I think it's the third weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
So Dove season opens the first weekend this time?
That 6th, I think.
Yeah. And then, so
that's pretty cool.
Man, it'll be here for you know it.
It'll absolutely. We're going on vacation starting Saturday, and I think we come back next week. And then the following week, and the kids are going back to school. Like,
golly,
man.
Yeah.
Ugh. So, anyways, but stick around, guys. Please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, like, share, follow, tell a buddy, send a carrier pigeon, do something, tell people about us. We really appreciate that. And we're going to have some merch coming soon. I know some of you guys have asked about that, and we've kind of put together some stuff, but I think what we'd like to do is probably do like a pre-order so that we're not sitting on a ton of merch hoping we can sell it. If it's already spoken for and paid for, then that makes it a lot easier to order.
And I want to remind you guys that with summertime, me and Matt and Bray, and heck, we might even drag Corey along, we're available to do some on-site consulting just in the summertime primarily, because that's when our time opens up just a little bit. So if you're interested, reach out now because we'll book up soon.
Yep, absolutely. So we appreciate you guys. If you need anything, you know where to find us. We'll see you on the next one.
Out.
All right.